Showtime.
What's up, y'all? Back for another episode. Feel Better TV, Kicking the Bobos, Rico Chill.
Shooting the breeze.
That's what's up. Today we gonna talk about a topic that we delved into before, but we're gonna put a different spin on it because we have a lot of wealthy billionaires in this country. It's around how many E?
Altogether, it's 3,400 worldwide.
Worldwide, and billionaires. We're talking about billionaires in the country. And of those billionaires, how many of those are
22 black worldwide.
22 black? That's a very small fraction. And of those 22 billionaires in the world that's black, how many in this country?
13 to 15 black Americans.
That makes it even more fractional. So, and when you look at those numbers, you know, how many of them are in fields that are beneficial, like
technical
fields?
Not too many.
What the majority of those billionaires in this country? What field?
Athletes and entertainers.
But and so that's very telling in itself, because you know basically they letting you know where you can make your money at, and once you get in those fields, you can't really do much for your prospective people, and unless you want to stop those monies coming in. So we're gonna delve into a list of people that we had now.
We'll start off with Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he's in the news lately. Anything about him in the news you heard of?
Well, the same thing that's been going on ever since he had his divorce decree. You know, he just been riding around and getting in accidents, alleged drunk driving or driving under the influence, and that's a sad case because he was on a trajectory to be, well, he probably still will go down as one of the greatest, but he could have been an all-time great. You know, like nobody, like we had the Jack Nicklaus's and the Arnold Palmers. He should have been one of those, but he tarnishing his name with the things that he has going on.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just read a little bit about him. And 1975 December, as an American professional golfer, he is tied for first in PGA Tour wins, ranked second in men's major championships. Hold numerous golf records, Woods is widely regarded as one of the greatest golfers of all time. He is an inductee of the World Golf Hall of Fame, and I get that number for you of his worth.
And that's wild though. With all of those victories he had, most of those came early in his career.
He's on record as 1.4 billion and as an athlete.
Yeah, he one of the number 10 on the list.
Yeah, so we just going random different. We want to mix it up a little bit. So by him getting 1.49 billion, we will assume that that's sponsorship, possibly.
I would call it's probably sponsorship and winnings, because you know golf is a lucrative sport.
Let's say 1.5 billion. I guess it fluctuates. He earned roughly 1.8 billion pre-tax in his pre-golf career, including a PGA Tour record of 121 million in prize money. And
how much is that in prize winnings?
121 million in prize money.
Okay.
Woods reached a rarefied air despite reportedly turning down a mind-blowing enormously offer from the LIV Golf Tour. Woods has parlayed his golfing paychecks into investments that includes 2 homes in Jupiter Island, a golf course, design business, and a high-end mini-golf chain pop stroke. Woods and fellow golf star Rory McIlroy announced in 2022 that they had founded TMRW Sports. The superstar is also a partner with Justin Timberlake and British billionaire Joe Louis and Nexus, a luxury real estate venture. 2023 to 2026, He's at 1.5 billion.
That's what's up. And I applaud all of them. But again, once you get to a certain status, especially the industry that you're in, there's not really much that you can say without damaging those monies coming in from other places. And that's what was sad about the list that we have now, is that because of the public image that they have, the public access they have, they want to damage dollars coming in from other communities, and which I think is a dangerous precedent in itself, because it makes it feel like, you know, it comes off as black dollars aren't worth it, in my opinion.
Well, the thing about it is like, do he really identify as Black American?
Yeah, he can't blaze you. You know, he want to be Cambodian, Black, and Asian.
Yeah, so I guess
that's funny that the Cambodian came first.
Yeah, so we're gonna look into the next person. We're gonna go Michael Jordan next. What do you think about Michael Wealth and his impact on the community and how he acquired it?
I think Mike is one of the dopest people around as far as athletically. And he had a lot of business ventures that paid off, because, you know, he started the era of endorsements for athletes across all the sports. You know, with what he did with Nike, what he did with Gatorade, and with all the other endorsements that he had, because he was one of the first premier athletes to promote McDonald's.
Okay.
That's where a lot of his income came, because he made a lot of money as an athlete, but most of that was from his last 3 contracts, you know, after his retirement.
So according to Forbes, we going on Forbes because they the money watchers. They watch everybody money. According to Forbes, he is at 4.3 billion at this time, as of April 10th, 2026.
I think he like number 3 on the black billionaires in the country.
He regarded by many as the NBA's greatest player of all time. Won 6 titles. His salary during
Oscar Robertson.
Yep, his salary during his career totaled $90 million, but he has earned $2.4 billion pre-tax from such corporate partners as Nike, Hanes, and Gatorade. MG joined sports betting firm DraftKings as a special advisor to the board and an investor in September 2020. He also became a NASCAR team co-owner in 2020. Jordan sold his majority ownership of the Hornets in 2023, but reportedly retained a minority stake in the franchise.
And that's the business moves that he made, because I remember when he left Chicago. No, he left Chicago with a bad taste in his mouth from the Ronsdale, because he wanted to be an owner of Chicago, which I think that he should have been, especially with all he done for the city and the franchise.
Yeah, he's number 984 on the billionaire list. That's pretty low down though.
But as far as the black people, that's pretty high. But among the billionaires, yeah, it's low. But you got to think, billions is billions.
Yeah, they had a head start back. You know, when you talk about billions, you talking about people with old money, like the Rothschilds and different families, the Rockefellers, Carnegie. You know, you got people that had that money that they'll never lose it because they keep reinvesting. And
those families that you named been having money since the country's inception.
Yeah, so they not gonna lose no money. Anytime you got a company you got an oil company, and the government tell you to split it in 12, and you still own those companies, but just 12 different companies.
And you still own them. But the thing about it is, like, I really honor Mike because of what he did. But I think that what he did, especially being in NASCAR, being a majority owner in NASCAR,
yeah,
that's revolutionary in itself, because mostly that's a Hicks sport. And he won a championship recently, which is great on him. But I think what he did, I don't like the move that he made as an owner with Charlie. I talked about this before, because, representation matters, and he was the only representative for people that look like us as a major franchise owner across all sports. Because there are no black NFL owners, no black majority NFL owners, no black majority NBA owners, soccer, baseball, none of that. So I didn't like that, but it was a good move for him financially, but representatively, it was not.
Yeah, so the next person we're going to is Oprah Winfrey, net worth $3.1 billion.
Another athlete and entertainer.
Okay, so let's see what they got on her.
And she came from humble beginnings. She from the SIP, Mississippi to be exact.
Yeah, so with Oprah Winfrey, let's see. Oprah Winfrey is an American media mogul, television host, and author who has a net worth of $5 billion. Oprah first became widely known thanks to the Oprah Winfrey Show, which debuted in 1986, went on to air 4,561 episodes. What number we on?
I think this 14. Is 14.
14. We got a long way to go.
We're going to catch up. We're going to catch up.
We'll catch up, Oprah. Over 25 seasons. Before concluding in May 25th, 2011, there was a simple reason Oprah is a multi-billionaire.
What the simple reason is?
Let's see.
It's amazing where she come from, because she had a tragic upbringing, and for her to go from a local TV correspondent to the billionaire that she is now, that does say something. But it also says that she was in the right places, because, go ahead.
Yeah, the simple reason Oprah is a multi-billionaire today as opposed to a mere multi-millionaire. Like many of her contemporary television hosts, and it can all be traced back to simple yet brilliant career decisions in the mid-1980s. As we detail later in the article, after signing a seemingly great contract to pay her $250,000 a year per year in '86, Oprah struck out on her own and founded Harpo Inc. Media, which operated Harpo Productions and Harpo Studios. In short, Oprah began producing her show and then sold it back to the distributors. This is the reason Oprah made $200 to $300 million per year when the show was on the air, which was exponentially more than the $5-ish million per year her fellow superstar daytime host was making at the time.
So that was a smart move on her, to do the Harpo thing, but to sell it back again, that gave away ownership, but it was a windfall for her. And it's funny that she put that in there to name the studio Harpo, which is basically her name backwards. But I think back to the color purple. You told Harpo to beat me, but anyway.
Yeah. So with Oprah, I remember when Green Street wasn't even developed at the time, and her show, that whole area in the West Loop was all like industries. It wasn't condo buildings. It was just little warehouses over there.
I remember that too, because wasn't the hoops the gym close to there too?
Yeah, gyms was over there. Most people didn't.
That was over there.
That was a lot of studios.
The district, right?
Yeah, a lot of studios. Green by Van Buren all the way down. She developed all that area where they got all the nice spots at now. But I think she was the one instrumental in bringing that whole area up.
When I think of Oprah, I think about the days, because with the talk show circuit the way it was, I remember, my namesake Phil Donahue, he was the king of daytime TV at the time, and Oprah just came over and took over. But again, it goes back to another entertainer getting in proposition to be one of the thought leaders supposedly in our community.
And I think we should go with Robert Smith, because he is an American.
Yeah. He was the Merck CEO, right?
Yeah. It says here, he's 10.04 billion. And we're gonna read his what he's known for and what made him that money. So he's worth 10 billion. Robert F. Smith founded private equity firm Vista Equity Partners in 2000 and focused exclusively on investing in software companies. With about 100 billion in assets, Vista is one of the best performing private equity firms, posting annualized returns of 31% inception. In 2020, Smith entered an agreement with Department of Justice and the IRS, agreeing to pay $139 million for his role in tax evasion scheme. Well, as a college student, Smith secured an internship at Bell Labs after calling the company every week for 5 months. An engineer by training, he worked at Kraft Foods and Goodyear before getting the MBA at Columbia University. During the commencement speech, Smith vowed to wipe out student debt of the 2019 graduating class of Morehouse College. That's pretty cool.
That's dope. And it's funny too, speaking to him, because like he talked about some of the things that we talked about recently on, I don't know where that podcast was, but he talked about the degradation of family, you know, how financial literacy is not really taught among our peers and families. And I think that's why he's in the position that he's in now.
So he did private equity, he's self-made, philanthropy, you know, he believes in giving back. He resides in Austin, Texas, and U.S. and married, children 7.
Right, and you don't really hear about him as much. The last you heard of him was when he did the HSBCU thing.
He went to Cornell University, so that's
where your daughter goes, right?
Yeah. Family, we got family done.
Yeah, so, she got the what Rafe was saying in life. She got the capital connection.
Smith is the first African American to sign the Giving Pledge, a commitment to contribute the majority of his wealth to philanthropic causes. That's good.
Yeah, and those are good things too. And I'm glad that we got, and he richer than all of them. You know, any of the people that we gonna name.
Yeah.
And he's not entertaining, but you don't really hear about him as much. You know, he don't get propped up as much as.
You know, he got his own world that he in that most people don't. He's not an athlete or entertainer, so people don't really know him.
And that's the thing about it though. Those are examples that need to get propped up more, because he's not, his money is not determined by the entertainment industry. He don't have, you know, handlers and things like that. He don't have to have a public perception. His money is going to be made regardless. You know, he don't have to say the right thing or be around the right people to get his bread.
Okay. So the next person, a lot of people know this guy. Sean Carter, Jay-Z. He's at $2.8 billion according to Forbes. $2.8 billion. A billion is 999 million plus 1 million. So he got almost 3 of them. So he's almost there to the third one. So since his beginning in hip hop, his first billionaire in 2019, hip hop's first billionaire in 2019. Jay-Z has more than doubled his fortune thanks to his lucrative liquor businesses. He sold 50% of spirits, otherwise known as Ace of Spades, luxury goods, LVMH in 2021, and sold a majority of his stake in cognac brands. He is also chairman and co-founder of entertainment Rock Nation, but stakes in music streaming giant Tidal and 4040 Club sports bars. His other assets is art collections, including Jean-Michel Basquiat. His music catalog shares in companies like Block and Uber. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021 and won 2 Emmys for Super Bowl halftime shows. So he's doing pretty good. Entertainment, that's a billionaire with the entertainment industry. What is your take on his acquiring it and the impact on the community?
I don't see a lot of impact on the community, but you know, I think he does those things behind the scenes that don't get talked about, and but he can't, because he's in the entertainment industry. he can't really speak out on certain subjects without having backlash from the people behind him. And I think he falls in the same line to me as Michael Jordan with representation, because like him selling his majority stake in Tidal and the other entities that he had was, it was a financial windfall for him, but a representation, it wasn't a good look. Because, the thing about it, like especially the way music is going now.
Yeah.
With you not having actual physical sales, everything is done through streaming. That could have had a bigger impact on artists.
Cause he's doing a show now too. He's supposed to be doing shows in New York. People talking about him going and doing some more concerts of his album, Reasonable Doubt.
And that's talking about that. I thought that was a horrible situation in itself, because going back to his former business partner, Dame Dash, he was a part owner of the Reasonable Doubt. And because Jay-Z didn't like the relationship that he had with him now, he basically sold that for pennies instead of trying to put some money in Dame Dash's pocket.
Yeah, he had some issues.
He been backballing him from the beginning. Well, not from the beginning, since they parted ways. And a lot of that is self-inflicted on Dame Dash.
He did do some stuff for Meek Mill, got him out of jail, helped him out. He helped a lot of with people legal bills, like people that like protest. He was getting people out of jail. Him and Beyonce.
I would say certain people he was helping out. Like you helping entertainers out is not really a big rah for me. Mm-hmm. I like to see more hands on, boots on the ground type things. But he did represent. I just think that again, with being in the entertainment industry, there's only so much you could do without forfeiting your dollars. And at this point, like I think that there is not much that you could lose with what you already have, and being able to do and say more should take more precedence. But I'm speaking as a hundredaire. I'm not even 1,000.
So I guess we'll go to the next one. Would be we'll go Rihanna next. What's your take on Rihanna right now and her contribution to the community?
I don't really know much about Rihanna. I've never really been a super fan of, but I know that she made some decent music, and she did make a lot of good business moves with her brands and Fenty and all of that.
Yeah. So let's see where she at with this, because they put a special up for the women that's billionaires. Let's see, Rihanna. Let's see, Kim Kardashian on that list for us as an effort. Okay, Rihanna, the pop star fortune fell by $400 million amid setbacks at her key businesses. CEO of lingerie brand Savage X Fenty quit in August 2024 to take over Victoria's Secrets. Sales are estimated to be flat, but she's net worth is $1 billion. And Fenty Beauty launched in China last year amid a challenging environment. And more celebrity news, Rihanna revealed she was pregnant and had a third child. So $1 billion entertainer had her own brand, Rihanna Fenty. So I don't hear much about Rihanna and
you don't hear much negative or positive. Well, I ain't gonna say
she's
not
more.
positive.
She's more private. If she's doing things, I know she's from Barbados, right? Something like that. One of them.
I thought it was Trinidad.
Yeah, Trinidad. So I was a big fan at one time. All her songs I used to love, but since she got with ASAP, I was like, nah, betrayed me.
You a hater, man. Well, I wouldn't say.
But Jay-Z brought her into that.
And it's a story behind that, but
well, what's the story?
I don't want to get into it.
What's the alleged story?
Because this came from Jaguar Wright and
okay, at least you quote who you think you would.
Another publicist. I can't think of his name, but it's John something. But they were saying that she basically was held hostage until she signed, like at 3 o'clock in the morning as a 16-year-old.
Oh wow.
So
she got a story to tell, but she ain't telling because she got money.
I couldn't say allegedly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
so we know Beyonce got $1 billion, so she's with Jay-Z together with that. I don't know if her $1 billion is combined.
And it's funny too, cause like, it was another artist that was coming out that was supposed to be banging at the time, Tiana Marie, but she lost her slot because they wanted to push Rihanna. And I think that's the same thing that happened with Beyonce and Aaliyah. But those are different stories and conspiracy theories that we'll delve into another time.
Okay, we'll have a show on conspiracy theories one day.
My mother.
We can do that. A conspiracy theory show that we can say whatever conspiracy theory we heard and allegedly happened and let everybody mind run wild. But it don't mean it's the truth. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said what? Nothing. Okay, so the next person is Tyler Perry. He's at 1.4 billion. And his real as of April 10th, 2026. As director, actor, producer, and writer, Tyler Perry is best known for his Madea franchise, which has grossed more than $660 million. Perry started out in live theater in the 90s, became extremely popular by transitioning to film and television in the 2000s. Perry's wealth comes both from his cut as a producer and from a library dating back to the 90s. He owns 100% of the content he creates. In 2019, he opened Tyler Perry Studios, a 330-acre property in Atlanta. And after 7 years creating content for Oprah, OWN, Perry struck a similar deal with Viacom in 2019, getting 25% of streaming with BET.
That's dope, because like, he's another dude that made moves, and I'm gonna tie him into our homeboy Ken Han Solo.
Yeah, shout out Ken.
But I remember when Ken was working for Andy Dufresne, and we used to go to his plays because he was putting on plays. That's how he got his start. His Madea plays and whatnot.
Yeah, I didn't know it was in Chicago.
It was all over the country.
Yeah, I never kept up with it because I never really got into the man dressing like a woman. I think he personally, $660 million. I see why he went far with it, but ideally, it's not really cool when a man just want to dress like a woman all the time. Every movie. I mean, come on, man, mix it up.
I'm not disputing any of it.
Yeah. I just feel like that's why I'm not at $660 million because I don't. It's obvious that I'm gonna have $660 million because I'm not wearing a dress in every movie. But he writes his own movie too, so he do have good messages in some of the movies. Not all of them, but some of them is more like extreme. One way or the other, it's always some terrible black guy beating on some woman, and then it turns out to be the woman beating him up or killing him in the end. So it's like a aggressive thing.
For the most part, in his media that he puts out, it's
I like the good deeds. That was pretty cool. He played a man in that.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
But what I was saying though is, for the most part, he put out the projection of a hypersexual, masculine woman and a simpish, feminine man.
And the African American sisters don't like that he always portrayed a black woman as a crazy woman. Wild and
that's what I mean, hypersexual.
Yeah, no, not hypersexual. Just saying, always down on their luck. They always bad, like the girl in Good Deeds. He always project them in that type of manner. Most, I don't say always.
I Could Do Bad All By Myself with Taraji Benson.
Man, yeah, that was bad. In that movie where she would rob the bank or something.
Oh, I can't think of the name.
They said that was terrible to show a woman like that, and that's what you want to project all the time. Well, most of the time, not all, But most
see,
of
and it's funny that.
but you gotta realize he come from Oprah.
But
Oprah did
it's
that.
funny though that
Oprah
they
did
complain about the projection of the women, but they don't complain about how you project me.
Yeah, I mean the women don't complain about the women, men gonna complain about the men. That's how it always is.
No, I'm complaining about both.
Well, very few see the bigger picture, but he come from Oprah line. So Oprah, when she put out movies, the only movie she put out was what? Beloved and Color Purple.
I never saw Beloved.
It was rough. It's rough seeing the women like that in both movies. It's always that
You
downtrodden,
to beat me.
depressed, just ain't got nothing left in life to live for type movie. And it's like, but maybe that stems from her projection of how her life was and what she saw.
I think a lot of that comes from that, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tyler Perry came from a single parent household.
Yeah.
And he was basically down on his luck and homeless, trying to do all of these plays and whatnot.
Great story on how he got to where he at. That he owns everything he creates.
Yeah, Tyler Perry Studios is an amazing thing.
No, I'm saying that he creates and he owns what he creates. That's very rare for in our industry, in the industry of entertainment, and because other people usually project what they want to.
Side note, I think that's why people were so mad at Ryan Coogler with his Sinners thing, because I think he got a lot of ownership in that. So whatever money's made forward from that, he getting a huge chunk of that. And I think those are the models that we need to look for as far as trying to create media, but not even media, just any products that we put out, having ownership of those.
Yeah, so we're gonna go into Dr. Dre next. And again, props to you, to the entertainers and athletes out there, which we want to get more people into the oil industry. We want to get people in the airline industry. We want people in the railroad industry. We want people in the technology. We want people selling Starlink. They own Starlink. This is the type of, it should be a diversified thing, not just athletes, entertainers.
You talking about those things, I want to see more people producing products like, clothes and things like that. Because like for the most part, we Levi's and whatever other name that we have.
Levi, Gap, True Religion.
I want to see our names come out, because I'm a firm believer in supporting brands that come from us. But go forward with Dre.
Yeah, as of 2026, Dr. Dre's net worth is estimated at over $1 billion, officially placing him on Forbes' billionaires list. Dr. Dre, born Andre Romeo Young, has amassed his fortune through a combination of music, production, entrepreneurial ventures. He gained fame as a founding member of NWA, established Aftermath Entertainment, which signed major artists like Eminem, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. His solo albums include Chronic in 2001, and also contributed significantly to his wealth. A major boost to his net worth came from the sale of Beats by Dre to Apple in 2014 for $3 billion, from which Dre retained a substantial portion, estimated at $480 million after taxes. He sold his artists and producer royalties, including his share of NWA and Kendrick Lamar's catalog, for $200 million, further increasing his financial standing. So Dr. Dre was pretty good. I mean, he made some moves.
Dr. Dre was dope. He one of the best producers that I've ever heard of.
Why do you say that?
The NWA.
Well, the Chronic album alone, man. That.
See, you going to his solo stuff.
Yeah.
NWA was all him. They first two albums was Dre. You know what I'm saying? And that's not counting the stuff that he did before then. Easy album.
Okay.
Was all Dre.
He acquired the money. Now, what's his impact on the community, you think?
I don't know the behind the scenes things.
Yeah.
Because
we don't know. But what do you see him producing.
I don't see like as far as all of the artists that we've named, I don't see any products coming from them that promote our communities as a whole. So I would call it very minimal at most.
I saw some interviews and he want a private life. He want to be able to do what he want to do when he feel like doing it. He just want to live according to how he feel like living. He don't want to be having to rush to do anything. He don't want to rush to do an album. He want to rush to do no sales. He get up and he feel like doing something. He do. Basically, he's living a just as you go type thing. I think with LA, I think he was really pushing a lot of artists, man. I mean, really, it was a lot of artists he pushed through that's big now.
No doubt, and it's funny too because like Illinois' own Truth.
I didn't know anything about the Kendrick Lamar, but even Kendrick Lamar as an artist being a Pulitzer Prize winner, that's like, amazing.
I didn't know about that, but Kendrick Lamar got some Chicago roots too.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Chicago is all over this joint.
Yeah, so like for him to do that and bring an artist up that gained that type of notoriety with the Super Bowl, and that was a big thing because most people said that was gonna be too much problems with him doing it, but he did a good job.
And that was the funny part about it as far as the Super Bowl entertainment, like because that came about because of Black people foresight, because the Super Bowl halftime show became a thing because of In Living Color, which is the Wayans, and basically that was them giving a kickstart to Fox as a network. So when the Super Bowl came out, and because before In Living Color came out, when the Super Bowl happened, it was just a blase thing, and everybody went to go do their 1-2s. But In Living Color came out, and they did they debut show of what they were bringing out. That brought people there, and that's what made them want to have a halftime show that made people not want to turn away from the game.
Well,
But saying that though, when Dre was part of the Super Bowl, it was a little controversy behind that with Jay-Z because they wanted 50 Cent to be a part of it, but Jay-Z was kind of blocking that. But Eminem, who was part of Dre's camp, didn't want to do it without 50 Cent.
Yeah, because he was a part of instrumental with them. So I mean, when you look at it, I mean, people usually bring the people they started with. Ideally, naturally, you want to bring people that you started with. If you're the type of person that don't want to forget where you come from, and you respect where you came from, and you appreciate and you're grateful for the opportunities that you had together, and it was a beautiful thing. But not in all cases, like with Dame Dash and Jay-Z, it's not like that.
True.
Some people, they not gonna remember you. They don't know you no more.
All right.
You don't got nothing to do with you, like how Lil Wayne and Birdman is. They was friends and close friends at one time, but money separates and greed, all that kick in, and you don't know me no more because of the money. So the next person, if you're ready to move on, Robert Johnson, $1 billion. What you got on him? Acquirement and impact on the community.
And I was a huge Robert Johnson fan, especially with BET, because like that was one of the staples in our community, especially with us coming up. Because when he came out with the network, it wasn't just entertainment. They had news segments, because
magazines.
Not even that, because I can't think of the Teen Summit with Ananda Lewis. Like, rest in peace. I love me some Ananda Lewis. But anyway, Like that was revolutionary. And then he had a news segment that told about issues that were going on in our communities that didn't get talked about. And that was a huge thing for him. And it's funny too because I looked at when that came about, because he talked about it in other interviews. It's like he got sponsored by other people and they just believed in him. And when it got sold to Viacom, it was mostly a financial move for him, but he wanted to make sure the people that put him on got paid too, which, I respect that, but at the same time, it has a sour taste because when you sold it off, it diluted it, and it's not. BET is not the same no more. Like, you haven't had a decent hip hop awards or BET awards in years because of it's not us controlling the image anymore.
Well, we're gonna read this for a little bit since we got it up. Robert Johnson made history by launching BET, which you already said. BET became the black-owned company to trade on the New York Stock Exchange starting in '91. Johnson, who co-founded BET with his new ex-wife Sheila Johnson, took BET private at $1.3 billion valuation in '98, then flipped it 3 years later to Viacom for $3 billion. He led a group that paid $300 million for the Charlotte Bobcats, now Hornets, NBA expansions teams in the 2003. He sold his majority stake to Michael Jordan in 2010. Today, his RLJ company spans private equity, auto dealerships, and lodging trusts, and public traded hotels. So he did some things with money.
He did some things. He was very influential.
So he was more like an investor and an entertainer.
And I like the thing that he did, especially with BET, because that could be something that could kick off things for us going forward, especially like now with streaming being what it is. Because like going back to Dame Dash, he got America New, which is his own streaming platform where he puts out his movies and podcasts and things like that. And I think Chris Spencer, who was recently on 5150, Corey Holcomb's show, he was talking about the platforms that he's trying to put out that promotes, people that look like us, our media. Because I think that those are the things that we need to look forward to, especially now with YouTube being a big thing and streaming being a big thing. We could put out images that don't reinforce the negative images that we have now. Because, I talk about this on the regular. I come from the hood, but I'm hood adjacent. I was never part of the regular scheme of things. As far as the hood, I didn't gang bang. I was mostly a nerd. Still am a nerd actually. But those are images that you don't really get promoted as much. I was closer to Dwayne Wayne from a different world than I was James St. Patrick or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think those are images that we need to put more interest in and promote more.
The next one will be the infamous, guys, too honorable, infamous. I don't know how you want to word it, but you know how they always say disgraced rappers and all
I wouldn't
that.
call them infamous.
I don't call them. I'm saying
disgraced.
the news call them disgraced. They was at $1 billion at one time. Diddy and Ye. What do you think about their impact on the community, pre and after?
I think as far as Diddy, I think he was more usury than most of the others. Because I think he did all he could to make sure that he was at the forefront of things and making sure that he got all the bread from it.
And the credit.
And credit. Because like with his Hitman production company, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had to be both at $400 million too.
Really?
Yeah, both of them at 400 million currently. So like even him in jail, he's still a millionaire.
Right.
He ain't hurting. I mean, he heard that he ain't free, but he still got 400 million sitting there waiting in the bank. He probably divested into his kids and stuff like that, and his mom, whoever's gonna protect his money. Kanye, on the other hand, you know, he got a big child support he gotta do with Kim Kardashian.
4 kids.
Yeah, but he still gotta take his medicine because he still get off. He said he apologized for all the stuff he was saying. So, I mean, people go through things in life too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're innocent or guilty. That's for a judge to say. But at the end of the day, they produced a lot of music and they did a lot of entertainment. And they say one thing about Kanye, they say he can say whatever he wants because people always love his classics. What's that, College Dropout? Pablo. You know, he did a lot of.
And the thing about it with
Jay-Z,
Kanye,
he did beats for Jay-Z that you can't even do a beat like that no more. That you will never hear a beat like that come from Jay-Z music.
the thing about with Kanye, I think him more being a genius producer, because I put him up there with Dre. You know,
I think he toe to toe with Dre. When you talk about
up there, they both in the same stratosphere. But what I was saying though is that for him, it's more promotional of what he's doing by saying outlandish things, so that you could look at what he's doing now. Cause like his new album, Bully, I haven't heard much of it, but Kanye put out good music. The only thing about it, like what I wanna try to listen to it myself because I heard it was a lot of AI influence in it.
okay.
So
and I like that he's involved in his daughter's life and his daughter's dreams. Just like Jay-Z, he's involved in his daughter's life. I mean, it's nothing wrong with passing on the torch if you want your kid to be an entertainer.
Yeah, but I was going to the AI influence that Kanye has in his new album. I think that sets a dangerous precedent as far as entertainment because, you know, with especially with social media the way it is now, you have a lot of AI things that trying to fool people into thinking that these are real people and these are real ideas. And it goes towards the propaganda that we talked about as far as when we talked about with war and how that's portrayed. But again, what you were saying, I have no qualms with how he wants to be a family man, because those are things that I strive for and I see you accomplish daily. So, it's props to him and you.
Man, I'm not a billionaire, so it's
no,
hard.
But you're a real family man.
To have a 400 million, man, that'd be nice.
Hold on. 6 of them, 6 of them, bro, and all of them college students.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
So we can go to Elon Musk if you want, just to
okay.
leave him off. That ain't us.
So
basically, we talked about. I'm gonna go for a recap. We talked about.
Hold on, before you recap,
okay.
Because I want to touch on an entertainer that dropped out the entertainment business, like Percy Miller, Master P. Because like he was on the same trajectory as the Dr. Dre's, the Sean Carters, and the P. Diddy's, but he dropped out of it to focus on more tertiary things, you know, with his food business, with his clothing businesses, and he tried to get back into the entertainment industry, but I think more because he was more self-sufficient and had more ownership, they wanted to prevent that. So, and because you hear, like we were talking about the philanthropic things that a lot of these people are doing.
He had 340 million right
trying
now.
To be into.
Yeah, he had 340 million, so he right there with Diddy, Kanye, you know.
And so I think that he's one of the people that you should look up to as far as the fall off. But his fall off is not the same as the Diddy and Kanye.
No, it's not infamous. It's more famous than infamous. We don't look up Birdman since that's an honorable mention, I guess. Net worth is at 150 million, 160 million. So So Birdman on the bottom of the pole, but that ain't a little money either.
None of it is little money. But like I said,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm 100 there, bro.
I'm sure he got some cash just sitting somewhere and not showing. I mean, I show little money. You know what I mean? That's just way out. So some guys might show little money and have way more money than what they show or what they claim. So for Forbes to
when
say,
I dig in my pocket, I'm pulling out Washingtons. I'm talking about the singular ones.
So what are we talking about here? I'm talking about when you talk about like how they acquired it, the industry they in, and the impact on the community. We can go down the list, and they had impacts on the industries, very huge impacts on the industry. Like, let's say Robert Smith, he had big impact. Sean Carter had a big impact. Jordan had an impact on the whole game of basketball. Oprah had an impact on entertainment, talk show host. Rihanna have an impact on just as an artist with her own clothing line, and that was a hard industry to get into, having your own stuff and it actually sells instead of going to Walmart being $20, but it still keeps its value outside of Walmart. That's big. Tyler Perry, he had acquired it through entertainment and doing shows, and most people like his shows. I mean, he got some real impactful, meaningful content. And Tiger Woods, he was more like a kid growing up. Playing golf as a kid, and he take it all the way to the top of his game. Dr. Dre, top of his game. When you talk about a beat, he made the beats. You know what I mean? Bob Johnson, he was an entrepreneur, and he was a trailblazer. Nobody else came up with the idea of BET after him. Nobody. Ain't nothing for us like that. Title, Jay-Z got a little title, but nobody have an entertainment network for us. That I don't know if we'll ever get that back. You know what I mean? Unless somebody makes it.
And that's what I was talking about earlier as far as getting it back, is making our own products, especially like with how streaming is now. Promoting. We promote, like I was talking about American New, and I'm gonna look, hold on, while I'm here.
So I'm gonna wrap the last four. Diddy, he was an impact on the music industry, bringing R&B to the beats. Real good soulful music to rap. Kanye.
His producers, I ain't gonna say Diddy. I ain't gonna give him credit for that.
Yeah, his producers. Kanye, he was a master of beats. He's a beat maker. Percy Miller, he was starting his own thing, and he went and made it grow way big. Birdman also. So I think with Master P, he took insurance from something, and he created something bigger from it.
His grandfather.
Yeah. So he made something out of that, his own record label, and pushing his own distribution too. But overall, what we talking about here is how to bring more something from nothing. This is what happened. They made something out of nothing. Most of these people made the best of what they had and created it and turned it over millions of times into something that people buy, sell, produce. Even some people they even try to bootleg the stuff, A bootleg pair of Jordans cost what, 50?
I don't want to say the name, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, it's a bootleg. They bootleg all. They used to have bootleg CDs of Jay-Z music in New York. Street, you go on Broadway, you go buy some music, bring it back. People used to sell this stuff. They wasn't getting all the money from the content that they produced.
That was when you had tertiary sales, because I was in George's music room. You know what I'm saying? But, were those your final thoughts?
You can go and then I can talk about my final thought. Okay, my final thought was that the way they acquired it, they had to come up with this again with blacks from slavery all the way to today's time. We always had to make something out of nothing. And then we make something out of nothing. Sometimes the things we made got stolen, like patents and stuff like that. That's why you don't see a lot of patents on this list. Like stuff that we created, the light bulb, the mop, traffic light. You don't see them on the list of being billionaires because somebody else took that. So all we got is entertainment, athletes, and a couple of other things, but we should be in a lot of different industries because we created a lot of things. But overall, if you do create, at least authenticate and get that patent on or the certain licenses you need to capitalize on that fully.
And see, my final thoughts are along the same lines, because like I want to promote more our products as being our products. Like again, like I'm not a firm believer in Dame Dash, but I think American New is a great platform. And that's a streaming platform that you could watch his movies and you could put your own content on too. And even though we had a different platforms like Tubi and Plex and all of that, I think we should be more concentrated on trying to solidify our monies together and trying to figure out how we can be more cooperative. Because like I'm a firm believer in segregation. Not that you don't deal with nobody else, but just keeping your money within home. And I think with the list that we had now, it's a lot of influential people, but their influence is limited because they have other people above them telling them what to do.
Yeah, I disagree. Can I disagree for a minute?
Sure.
And tell you why? A lot of these people wouldn't be billionaires without the white dollar. Because they sell to a whole nother community.
And that's what I was saying.
So,
though.
if you got how many people? Okay.
When you disagreeing, that's what I was saying. Yeah. A lot of people behind it, that's what I was talking about, the white dollar.
Yeah, I agree to disagree though. This is a different type of, I don't mean I disagree and that's it. I'm saying I agree to disagree with the segregation thing.
No, I wasn't talking about segregation.
Yeah.
I was talking about the people on the list were built behind those white dollars. And because they get those white dollars, they don't want to put money into other things.
So in the community, you said.
Right.
That's the impact of the community you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to be clear what you're saying.
We could talk about the segregation on a separate issue.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I heard you talking
I'm
about.
a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
But I don't think they would be billionaires if that was the way it was.
We can agree to disagree.
Okay. Because like right now,
we could delve into that more.
They have they tapped into dollars that they what they call crossover people. They crossed over into other communities to get that money.
But see, and those communities wouldn't cross over without us.
I understand, but they wouldn't have the billions without that other community.
Right, but those communities wouldn't come without us.
So basically, we got Diddy, Kanye, Jay-Z. They don't live in the hood, and they don't represent the hood no more. They went to a whole other community, and they serve those communities more so than they serve the hood. So they make money off the hood and the hood lifestyle and the culture, but they don't live that way, and that's not how they get their main money. They get their main money from white America.
I know, I've said that too.
So the impact on the community, that to me, the closing thought for me would be that they really don't do a lot for the community. They do more so.
Here.
Yeah, they do so more so for the affluent communities that they represent and that they're part of.
No argument here.
I would like to see more girls and boys club for Michael Jordan all over the city.
And that goes towards what I was saying as far as promoting brands that are us and us alone.
It should be studios. If they into rap, it should be studios all over the city for people to get the talents. You know what I mean? It should be schools on how to do beats, lots of them. You know, everybody in their field. You know, so I just think at a certain point, maybe if they're not gonna do it, somebody else will.
And that's again goes towards what I was saying is like, see, and again, you're not a firm believer in it. That's why I think the segregation counts, because if you have somebody else doing it, that's what we're gonna go towards, and we won't have the influence that we want.
Well, if you say segregation, we don't have no airports, we don't have no trains, we don't got no banks, we ain't got nothing. So you gonna talk about segregate with nothing?
No, I'm talking about segregation with music.
No, I'm talking about segregation in general. Like, how you gonna segregate and don't have nothing?
See, and
you need an airport, you need a train, you need a bank.
The nothing part of it is like it starts from somewhere.
Where we get our gas from?
Like with like Dame Dash talking about you gotta work for yourself. It starts from somewhere, bro.
Okay, so you work for yourself.
No, hold on. Okay. Let me finish. It starts from somewhere. Like you gotta build that. You know, once you built that, and this is what a lot of the people on this list did. They built their own thing, but they sold it to somebody else.
A brand.
And instead of doing that, keeping it. That's a form of segregation.
We know Michael Jordan sold something. You know, Jay-Z sold something. Okay. Rihanna, I don't think she sold nothing.
Yeah, Oprah she sold her Fenty.
Okay, Oprah sold something. Tyler ain't sold nothing. Dr. Dre sold something. Bob Johnson definitely sold something. Diddy probably selling everything he can now with this court case.
And a lot of those artists on that list have sold their publishing rights. So again, keeping it to yourself, so you have control over somebody else. That's what I'm like. When I say segregation, I don't mean it. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't mean it as in like separate yourself from everybody else. I mean keeping your dollar within a certain community.
Well, that's just called just spending inside your community. That's not segregation. That's just how.
Yeah, but I mean it as that.
But segregation, you mix it up. Segregation is separating yourself from people. Now we talking about just spending your money with your people.
See, and
that's how
I think the semantics of it is, my bad. The semantics of it is the semantics of it is getting you tied up because I'm using that word, and that is a trigger word, especially coming from our community.
Not so much a trigger word; it's a definition of segregation, and it's a definition of spending black. That's two different things.
Okay.
That's just called black nationalism.
Okay.
And segregation is when you segregate the black nationalists in one area.
Okay.
And you know who does that? The Nation of Islam. They got that on the back of their paper.
Okay.
That they want a certain state for all blacks, and they can control it.
Okay.
So, getting back to this impact on the community. I think that by being 3,400 billionaires in the world, 22 blacks minus the Africans, 13 to 15 blacks, I think we put too much on these people.
I would agree to disagree.
3,400?
What you mean?
3,400 billionaires worldwide.
Okay, so hold on. What you mean we putting too much on them?
We put too much faith in them, too much.
Right, and that's the thing about it. But like, stop putting faith in entertainers and athletes.
Because at the end of the day, all it is they're not leaders; they are entertainers.
And this is
warned about that, making your athletes.
This is why I talk about doing stuff for us. This is why I want to promote this channel more. This is why I talk about us spending money with each other. You know, like we go to 40 acre city markets. You know,
fresh markets.
Fresh markets. I'm sorry.
You always do that.
I do. I'm sorry. 40 acres. Don't blame me. But like keeping our dollar in house, that would do a lot because especially in our communities, most of the stores we don't own any of those, and all of those monies are going to other communities. If we did something for ourselves, it would be better.
Okay, so we're gonna do a closing statement now.
A closing.
Well, just I do it because I'm long-winded, you long-winded. So I just say, hey man, just understand what your priorities, your obligations, your goals, and your dreams are, and shoot for the stars.
Hey man, reach one, teach one.
What you doing?
Kicking the bobos.
Shooting the breeze. Another one down. Episode 14.